Yes, we can. It's very clear. Thank you, Yoav.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Nice to be here and nice to see some familiar faces in the crowd. Good late morning for everyone. My name is Yoav. I'm from Aerobotics company. Basically, what we do is quite related to the previous speakers, and we turn raw drone data into actionable insights that allow you to basically get more informed decisions about your crop performance through the season, tree census, as well as a yield estimate in citrus. And the way we provide the information is by reconstructing three-dimensional model of each tree in the orchard. So the drone flies above the property, and we get many different footage from different angles of the same tree, and it allows us to create this image as you see here on the back end. And all the information that we provide, if it's tree health, canopy area, and volume, are provided to the tree level. So it really allows you to quantify how many trees are underperforming, for example, or what's the average tree volume in each and every block in your property. For citrus, we provide two different products. The first one is the tree insight, as you see here. And the second one is the fruit insights, which is to do with yield. I will touch about both of this product very briefly, but yeah, feel free to reach out afterwards and happy to discuss further. This is one of the tools for the tree insight part. So basically the tree count and missing trees tool. What we see here is basically a map whereby we annotated each and every tree in the orchard, which is highlighted in light blue, and the missing trees are highlighted in black. So this tool is very handy and popular amongst growers from a replanting point of view. If the orchard is still young and you can replant, so you can get those numbers and download them and send them to the nursery if possible. But also for budgeting point of view and others to be able to know that you don't have 10,000 trees as you planted 10 years ago. You only have 8,500. That again allows you to be a bit more precise when you plan your next season, for example, and you think about what kind of yield you're going to get. The next thing is the crop performance layer. What we see here is the per tree health map, whereby each tree gets a health value based on the reflectance from the canopy. A good looking tree would appear as a green, followed by a yellow and orange, and a tree that is a bit more stressed would appear as red. And what we see here that there is definitely some noticeable variation in the southern corner of the block and some of the eastern one. And the platform allows you to identify these. And also, if you are aware of this issue, the platform also allows you to quantify. So how many trees in this block are underperforming? And the way it's done is basically by looking at the variation that you have in the block and clicking on whatever bars you want to filter, and that will filter out the rest. So in this block, out of 2,825 trees, we see that 890 are underperforming. So that's a good 30% of the block. So in many cases, this tool allows growers to either sometimes justify some farm practices. Maybe in this specific example, I don't know, irrigation should be reviewed. But in other cases, again, it allows you to identify those underperforming areas that you can sometimes can't see with your naked eye. The next tool that I want to touch about is the crop protection part of things. So we have developed an app, as you've seen in the previous slide 2, that allows you to go and to actually scout those different zones and all those underperforming trees. Given that you record all your bug scouting on the app, it allows you to create really nice report. First one, as we see here, is effectively where data has been recorded. The second one is a table that summarizes all the blocks that have been scouted in the different dates. Here we're looking at the fruit fly. You can see how many individuals were found in each of the blocks. Same thing can be done on a plot view, whereby you can track and monitor the progression of each and every insect in your orchard, as well as a heat map. And all the information is exportable and can be shared with any other stakeholders within your farm if needed. This is just one quick example of a scout route that has been created in one citrus orchard, and you see that some pests were detected and excessive weeds and dripper issues and possible Phytophthora. And everything, all these photos that you see here can be taken with the app, and everything is geo-referenced. So you can get these photos from your agronomist or from your bug spotter, and you can effectively sit in your office and you can see where has been recorded and when. The last thing that I want to touch on the tree insight part of things is the benchmarking project. Basically, because we have captured a substantial amount of data across Australia, we recently launched this benchmarking report. So we show you as a farm where you stand compared to the industry in terms of tree health, NDVI, as well as canopy area and volume. Here are just the 2 examples of one farm average of NDVI for Furas compared to the industry. So you see that this farm is way above the industry average, which is great, as well as same comparison, but for a canopy area for the Caras, where obviously this difference might be to do with the age of the trees or pruning. The second product that we offer for citrus, which I will briefly explain, is the yield estimate. So as you know, estimate yield in citrus and measuring the size, quite labor intensive and costly process, as you can see here on the left hand side. We basically do the same, but we use drones. So nothing revolutionary. The drone hovers above the tree and interrow and takes images as well as videos, as you see here. Then we take all of this data into our machine learning models, and the models detect the fruit, as you can see here. We do it as early as 24 millimeters fruit size, where the fruit is quite small and obviously still green. It allows us to get much more data points compared to traditional fruit sizing, as well as doing it faster. And the output of this process is the average fruit size that you have in your block. So we're looking now at this block. At the flight date, the average fruit size was 62.06, and the distribution of the fruit size at the flight date. Then we apply local growth curves, and we provide you to your harvest date what fruit size you're going to pick in 2, 3, or 4 months time, what's the average, and what's the different bins or the different counts that you're going to pick for each and every block, or for each and every variety, if you like. And that allows you to obviously plan your harvest. And again, if it's early enough in the season, maybe rectify and manipulate some of the blocks to push the fruit to be a little bit bigger, for example. Same thing we do with color. So that's on later stages of the season. When we do additional yield flight, we provide this color code for each block, so that you can see that what block is the most ready to be harvested in terms of color. and that can save money on color treatment, but also again focus your harvest to the blocks that are the ones that are ready to be picked. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. My details are below, and I'm very happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoav. It's